My leadership style, in a word, is accessibility. I am available to all my customers, all my employees, all my corporate teaming partners.
In one word, my leadership style, collaborative. I listen to my clients. I engage with them, bring my knowledge in, and integrate it with theirs. And the same thing with every level of employee in my team.
My big rituals are thinking things through, not reacting quickly to problems. So I tend to sleep on big decisions, very careful not to fire off an email in a heat of passion, maybe compose it and then send it the next day.
I wake up in the morning and I look at my phone and I try to learn something so I can use that to better my company, be more innovative in the way I think.
In one word, I would describe my leadership style as nurturing. I love to see people grow.
When I started off, I felt like I just had to tell myself every time not to take things personally. So developing that thick skin. And another thing that I do is every morning I wake up, I read to make sure that I'm constantly in terms of, I know what's going on. I'm not just hearing it from somebody else.
The routines that have helped me be effective as a CEO are to lead by example. Set the tone for the example that you want others to emulate.
I have dogs and I walk my dogs about 2 hours a day. It's usually quieter in the morning before the traffic gets going. That helps me get through the day and the week and the month.
One thing that I do is I have a giant whiteboard on the wall next to my desk and I have it divided into sections. So even though everything's on the computer, it's really helpful to me to be able to just look up and glance up and see what's going on that I have to get done.
One of the things I wish that I had been aware of before we started the business was that you need to be flexible. You need to be able to look at a product or a service and look at both sides.
Understand your financial statements and structure your own system of accountability such that your executive decisions always fall within your profitability guidelines.
One thing I now know that I wish I'd known starting out is how far apart those who are in healthcare would be from what our vision is. And how to close that gap has been the greatest challenge in the last year.
One thing that I think is important that we probably weren't as good at as we could have been is socking away money. We tried to be really generous with our employees, and when the recession hit, it was very difficult, and having a little more financial resources probably would have helped.
In a service business, your greatest asset is your team. And what I learned over the years is a budget number is a budget number. Doesn't matter if you don't have the right person.
What keeps me up at night right now is our growth strategy. This is a pivotal year for strategy and management services where we're actually thinking about that strategy and how we're going to take the great things that we're doing to other market areas.
What keeps me up at night is making sure that decisions we are making for the company is good for our employees, to keep our employees focused and wanting to work for us.
What keeps me up at night is safety. I think it's a very complicated time right now, unfortunately, to do business and to raise a family and really live in a community. So I'm very cautious about the actions that I take.
What keeps me up at night? Two things. My kids home from college. The macro real estate market is always something we're very concerned about. It's just, it's always a looming unknown.
So to focus on bettering myself, I go back to the devotionals. It's very spiritual because it's making sure I'm true to who I am.
I think failure has to be part of your experience. You learn a lot from them and you move on, and then the success is always much greater from that.